A human being is definitely not an animal. Animals are different than human beings. Animals, and then you have different. Mammals behave differently than insects. Okay, so in insects, as far as an animal and stuff, and reptiles behave differently. So there's all kinds of different behaviors associated with symbiotic life form, and referring to yourself as an animal is just a cop out to try to get away with doing things that are instinctual. That you obviously understand what's happening, and you're giving yourself an excuse to do it. Or, and for thousands of years, we've had people that are human beings explain to us how to be better human beings than resorting to I can get away with it because I'm an animal. You ever watch Big Bang Theory, the one of Penny when she gets drunk and Kutarpali takes advantage of the one girl who gets drunk because he can't talk and he has sex with her, and then Leonard's a better guy because Penny comes in and she's drunk and he won't have sex with her. Okay, which is why he's the alpha male. Okay, of the surveillance set. You you can trust him, but you can't trust Kutarpali, and Sheldon you can't trust because he's mentally and emotionally unstable, and Howard is perverse but has desires to be similar to Leonard because he's the alpha of the group. Right? Okay, so he's the Jonathan to Leonard's David. Right? Harry Potter and Leonard's character are probably most likely loosely based off of a man named David Rockefeller. Okay, to make us feel like that's espionage and science and intellectual competition success people are better at keeping us safe than mythological creatures known as messiahs, right? And we have to do. People like Adam, Moses, David, Jesus, John, and Saladin. We've been dealing with people, okay, like David Rockefeller and Chiang Kai-shek and Mao Zedong and Adolf Hitler and people that invade your house with technology, spy on you. You read the books about David, all the spies, and he wasn't spying on them, and they thought he was because he's like, it's obvious what you're doing. Okay, and Jesus was the same way. And it's just supernatural. No, there's nothing supernatural about it being obvious. I'd kick Kurt's ass, okay, and he would know it. When push came to shove, and then it got to the point where, like, hey, okay, you need to knock it off. He would sit there and tell me, oh, you're lucky I'm feeling generous tonight and don't want to kick your ass. And it's like, yeah, that happens to me all the fucking time. I'm 58 years old, and that happens to me all the time. Okay. Now, the scientists at the fort, who are the new alpha males, can impulse people that feel they need a job and Jesus is their drinking buddy to spray chemical poisoning all over because of the people at Johnson, Halliburton, Northrop Grumman, Monsanto say, oh no, it's Agent Orange right thing to do, right? And it'll help you get a better crop yield. It'll help you do this. It doesn't. It's not true. The oxygen provided by the grass for the trees and the small trees that come up provide a better crop yield and a better, healthier nut. Okay. Than what's provided in they're just doing, this is genocide. All right, these are genocide operations. There's a lot of pressure to tip nowadays. Okay, you tip our drivers, we'll tip you back with $3 on your next pizza. We'll send a per person out with a car to cause heart disease and birth defects, and everybody will wave to the kids at halftime at Kinnick Stadium in Iowa, right? Waterloo, Waterloo, where were you when you meet your Waterloo? Everybody has its day. Everybody must meet their Waterloo. That's not true because not everybody's like Adolf Hitler, Napoleon Bonaparte, and Cornwallis, and George Washington, and General Custer. Okay, so even the difference between Tecumseh and Little Hawk and Crazy Horse is other people brought the fight to them. Okay. Like I told everybody when I came back to Cruces from Fort Huachuca, my family, I didn't bring this fight to your politicians and your church members and the people that work at NASA and White Sands. They brought this to me. I was just trying to. The greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. That's all I wanted. I just wanted to be able to keep Amy at home, enjoy my affection and my romance that I could with my little Aries, who wasn't that romantic, but she was real fun to have sex with, right? I could have just got her to be a little bit romantic. It would have been great. But the thing is, I loved the kids. I love the kids. I still love the kids. And I was, since I love the kids and she wanted help raising the kids and asked me to marry, literally asked me out and wanted me to marry her to take care of the kids. I sacrificed the romance because I love the kids, and the sex was fun when I got to have it, right? With Amy, no, with Stephanie, the sex was miserable, okay? She went to the bars to go have sex with women because she was damaged psychologically, and the Pentagon didn't fucking help, okay? So if it was Stephanie, it was really different. Their science, by the time Amy, who was born in 1980, and by the time I married Stephanie, okay, in 1990, okay? I married Amy in 1999, okay? That's 9 years of the alpha males and the Doppler effect, sitting in my living room studying people, manipulating people. We can't get into the well, gladly go home, and all these assholes, right? Yeah, I don't think you guys understand. I don't think Dave Miscavige understands what an asshole he was. I don't think L. Ron Hubbard understood the precognition of his asshole. I don't think Tom Cruise understands what an asshole he is. I know Will Smith doesn't, because we've had more prayer conversations, and I've talked with his kids. I haven't talked with Tom Cruise's or Dave Miscavige's kids, but I've had conversations with Will Smith's kids. Okay, so Will Smith has he struggles. I'm a bad person. Jada, same thing. I'm a bad person because I'm a part of this disgusting stuff. Okay, so they struggle. So there's a consciousness there that wants to do better, that wants to be better, that wants forgiveness. Please forgive me, King David. Please forgive me, Jesus. I got caught up in the shit of all the egomaniacs that want to be better than you, and now I realize I'm not, and I'm sorry. Okay, so you get people like that, and I already forgave them before they ever came in the house. The one who Jesus is talking to perform the apocalypse. So I already forgave everybody. So Jennifer Lopez, forgive my dad. I already did. Okay, he's just going to have to learn to forgive himself and then stop doing what him and Dave Miscavige and L. Ron Hubbard started. Okay, if you get addicted to something and when it gets pointed out to you that it's wrong, you stop doing it right then. Judah Krishnamurti at the kids at Ricci Valley School. No, don't play games. I'll think about it. Don't think about it. Do it. It's right, then do it. You're going to be a fucking leader in India. Okay? And when something's right, you don't sit there, I'll think about it. And empathy and respect for the servants so the servants can have their own home. And their time is as precious and important as yours is. Okay? Judah Krishnamurti was the person that lots of people knew was the one that was alike in spirit of the Krishna and the Buddha, and they took the life stories of the men that were like him, that came before him, and turned them into comic book fucking gibberish. Okay? And then he came along and corrected all the comic book gibberish. Okay? And they didn't accept that. They did not accept him. The world leaders and the millionaires and the success people and the great scientists all categorically rejected Judah Krishnamurti. Houston Smith, he was an asshole. No, Houston Smith was an asshole. Houston Smith died an asshole because he couldn't understand what Judah Krishnamurti was telling him to help himself save himself from his own ego. Okay? Do you understand? Well, I'm certain that D.T. Suzuki probably did the same thing with Houston Smith. But the way D.T. Suzuki said it to him, Houston Smith wasn't as offended because Suzuki probably told him privately instead of publicly. But Houston Smith wanted to challenge Krishnamurti because, like UG Krishnamurti, he thought he was a scam, a hoax. Okay, and then Judo had enough, and he cut his fucking little head off right off his own sword right in front of everybody. And then Houston Smith got pissed. It's like, don't get pissed. Don't come up and call somebody a fraud when you're a fraud, and then not expect to get your ass kicked because you deserve it, right? When you're a fraud and you call someone who's not a fraud, you need your ass kicked, right? Okay. You built the walls, you built the pyramids. Well, is that albatross and you still drooling? Well, stop doing that because you're not an albatross, you're a human being. All right? Peace out.